Can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're just going to go over some stabilization techniques that I use for handheld video for wildlife, and I have used this also for aviation and racing. It's kind of the all same idea, and it does take a lot of finicky adjustments, and sometimes you just got to accept that maybe your clip just isn't usable for stabilizing. It just looks terrible even when you try and save it. And it goes without saying, if you're going to shoot video, your best bet is obviously to be on a tripod and a fluid head. Now you see little pop-ups up here for the reviews I've already done on the fluid head and tripod that I use most of the times. But if you're in a kayak or in a situation where you can't have a tripod, like air shows usually don't allow you to have big tripods and fluid heads in places like that, then this is probably going to be helpful for you. So let's just dive right into here, and we'll talk about how I do this. And your mileage may vary. So in this first clip, you can see it's 4K 30. And then we're going to go down to the stabilization section under the video tab in the editor. And I usually go to transition first and crank those sliders all the way to the right for the most part and just kind of see what happens. Now, this does take a while, depending on what kind of computer you have. So for the most of this analyzing of video stabilization, we'll just cut out the percentage part. So here we are with the first attempt, and you can see it's still kind of shaky. In that first bit, it had like a quick little jitter to it, but the rest of it's not too bad. So we're gonna go find that jitter part and we're gonna erase it. So then we're gonna go back and stabilize it again, adjust it a little bit, hit stabilize on that clip, and it'll make it real quick there. And as we can see, it did a pretty decent job compared to how it was before. Still a little bit of vibration going on there, but on YouTube you're probably not going to see it a whole lot. If you wanted to, you could just cut out that little bit of vibration if you wanted to, and then just leave that clip the way it was. Then it helps a lot more if you can shoot a video in higher frame rates. So this is 4K but 120 frames per second. And whenever you slow down the footage after you stabilize, it really helps to kind of save the image, and it kind of makes the shakiness go away in it. So that's the original clip. Then now we're going to try the transition again, max out all those bars, hit stabilize on the clip. And now here's the finished stabilization in real time. We're going to go in there and we're going to do real-time controls, and we're just going to make it go down to 25%. And it'll play back at 30 frames instead of 120, and we'll crop in a little bit just to center the subject how we want. And now it just looks smooth as butter in slow motion. This next clip is very shaky, as you can tell. It was pretty windy. It was during a rainstorm. I didn't have high hopes in this, but we tried 4K 120 again. So we're gonna do the same thing. Gonna go to transition, try and cut out the shaky bits best we can. And we're gonna go click analyze, skip through the analyzation of the video clip. So this is under similarity. Transition didn't work too well. We're going to switch this back down to 25% for slow motion. Now it's not exactly perfect, but it's certainly usable compared to how it was originally. Then whenever you're done with all of your clips you want to stabilize, just put little transitions in there. however you feel you need to. I like doing the little sliders on the ends. And if you play back through, it looks a million times better than it did previously. But one thing you keep in mind is you're always going to have to pick between the 3 different stabilizations. I always feel that for moving subjects and birds in flight, that similarity and transition work better than perspective. Perspective is nice if you have like a stationary subject and you're stationary. So hopefully this crash course in video stabilization was helpful for you. This is kind of just like the secret sauce of what I try to do, is try and stabilize handheld video. Now obviously using a tripod and a fluid head would eliminate a lot of these problems. If you apply this to stabilize footage using a tripod and a fluid head already, it's gonna look like absolute perfect butter. But handheld, you don't always have the choice to have a tripod with you, or if it's a spur of the moment kind of shooting. So if this was at all helpful for you, you learned something, you downloaded Resolve to try and understand and learn this, because it is free. There's a free version. It has stabilization in it. I'll put a link down below for where to get the free version of this. It runs on Windows and PC, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So like the video, comment down below if it was helpful for you, and if you learned anything, and subscribe to the channel. I wish you all the best of luck out there, because shooting video handheld at long telephoto lens at like a 150 to 600, and then you can shoot in crop mode for even further reach, but then the shake gets a little more ridiculous after that. I wish you all luck for that, because it gets tedious, trust me. Until next time, best of luck. I'll see you out there.